joined this webinar. I think many of them there. I would say that, guys, um, in this area of the career, especially in cybersecurity, there are two parts. One is the technical parts, one is a non-technical part, where you have governance, compliance, lot of work happens. So on this modules, forget the description, foundation one, foundation two, these are all, everybody can do it, technical, non-technical, except that understanding of cyber attacks, where you actually have the labs and you can go to technical hacking related stuff you do there. But then incident management, privacy, business continuity, designing security controls, risk management, especially module 4 areas, they can be done. You have ample of jobs. If there are 2 jobs for technical, then I would say 4 jobs for non-technical areas. So I'll encourage people who are from the background of commerce or any other discipline for that matter. We can teach them, we can bring you up to speed, and we can also get you internship jobs, not a problem. Quality people should not be having any issues. So I would say that if you have your colleagues who are in commerce and thinking that accounting has no future, or whatever you feel, or you want to study something else, I would request that you should do cybersecurity. And what, don't go with cybersecurity. Cybersecurity has a place: cybersecurity compliance, governance, risk management, business continuity, disaster recovery. None of this needs scripting. Okay. None of the areas I told you will need scripting. So all these are very pretty much, I would say, common sense and dedication. And
Sir,
sometimes if you try,
your voice is coming very low, sir.
yeah, I was looking somewhere else. Is it okay now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So some of these areas, I would say that, mm, let me just adjust this quickly. Um, I would say that you can see there's some certifications here. We have put it there. Those certifications you can easily go and do it yourself if you want, but there is a free certificate there. You can do that free class and get to know more about it and get a more idea about what you want to do and how you want to do. Okay, so that's uh, as far as curriculum is concerned. Then this is a detailed curriculum which will explain you about all we need to learn, areas we need to study more on the granular areas. Part one, which is this is something we do everything in the classroom. We, even if it's online, we'll do remotely, but we'll do classroom session. Nothing of this is like you are, this is going to be in person, online, if required through Zoom. In some colleges it will be happening in person too. So we are tying up with the colleges, working with the colleges, and we'll make sure that we get the quality people out of the colleges in cybersecurity. Some of them does involve lab. There's a lot of case studies. This is the reason your writing skills has to be improved a lot. That's the challenge we face in US. Is not about your technical knowledge. It's ability to write, ability to present. Those things we want much more priority. That's where we're focusing on. So as you go through this, like risk management area, again, technical, non-technical people can do it. Those people who do not want to go and start scripting and they don't want to feel like that's our area, please consider that cybersecurity is going to grow very, very good. And there are salaries are also very high. Even currently, people with 5, 6 year experience are demanding more than 20 lakhs, guys. So there are, and we have a recruiting division called critical hire. We recruit the people, and when we recruit the people, this is the problem we're facing. We're not getting people. So we want quality people and we'll keep hiring quality people. So mostly I'll not spend too much time on this one. I'll start actual speaking about the topic for today. I do need only 25 to 30 minutes, so it's not going to be boring at all. The basic foundation of cybersecurity, I would say, is the confidentiality, integrity, availability. Now, there are areas where this accountability, auditability, and all that is being considered. We speak about it, but then as we move forward, like some of the areas like encryption has more areas, but foundation of everything in cybersecurity is confidentiality, integrity, availability. Something has to be kept confidential, something has to be correct, somebody cannot play with it, especially integrity. And the last one is the availability of the information. The information has to be available as and when required. That's thing. Then information security is achieved through the implementation of technical managerial and operational measures. But intentionally I added this line because you could have technical setup, technical tools implemented. Then you have managerial requirements, which are the managing, and operational measures, which is the operational requirements. Okay, at a high level. So these are the definitions of confidentiality, integrity I just mentioned to you. Focus for some time, guys, and don't get distracted because we are moving to the very crucial area of network security in a few seconds from now. So there are four types of employees we put the workplace at risk. Okay, who are these people who can? So many times when we speak about hacking, attacking, and everything, there are different types of the people, political state actors, we call it. Those are the people who do it without need for money. Those are the other people who do it with with the intention of making money. They want to make money. That's where they are actually doing the ransomware, phishing, and those kind of attack. And there are also people who are just don't know much about it. So most of the time we say the biggest risk which company has, there is own employees. Their own employees, either during the employment phase, after the employment phase, these are the people who can cause a lot of damage sometimes. So security safety is a name for the people who really know little about security, and they try to do something for a computer at home and they cause a problem. They think that they know everything, and that's where the problems start. Gadget Geek comes to work with a variety of devices, and they plug in. Do not plug in anything else, even to your universities and all that. It can cause a lot of damage. You probably feel that nothing happened to the laptop, nothing happened to the systems, but the data is going away from the system. Information keeps passing. And their objective is that get the information, get the privacy data. They may not cause any damage. Then, then basically you have another types of the people, squatter, saboteur, and I think you can read this one. Let me focus on the network security for the some next few minutes. I will speak about what's network security is all about. Now, uh, important part of network security. I'm directly going to the something called OSI layer. Now, understand this is very critical. If you are inside this space of uh, security and compliance, doesn't matter technical, non-technical. This is something you want to understand pretty much from day one. What exactly is happening? What is the OSI layer? So if you're not exposed to this area, first of all, just join the csccommunity.org. Go there, and there's a ton of information about this one. Um, this is like a library. It's a free library. There are a lot of information available. You can study from there or read from there. But we use that library to support our training, and then you guide it through the library as to what exactly reading. That's where your case studies are going to be. You have to do a lot of write-ups and all that. That's the support we are going to give it as far as areas, how you can form a group, how you can collaborate and come up with answers. So physical data network transport session presentation application. Correct. Anytime you receive any package or any information, and when you see it on your computer and you try to read it, these are the layers it goes. It comes to the physical cables, the interfaces with the transmission, provides error checking data link, performs packet routing. That's exactly the network layer does. Routing of the packet, it adds trailers and information which is required. That's where that IP address come into play, and supports end-to-end delivery of the data, TCP, UDP. These are all protocols, correct? When you basically send some information, you can imagine how many things are happening on that package. Negotiate, establishes connection, provides encryption, provides services such as email. Now, this is the application layer where you actually see the application on the screen. So why this is critical? Because the hackers play in all these layers. They exploit all the layers. They'll exploit physical, data link, network, transport, session, presentation, application. And that knowledge is extremely important. One of the things which we study in the network security or entire security is granular understanding of this area. I'll just go through the graphical presentation here for this screen. So this is your OSI model looks like in the graphical format. See application layer and your presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link, and physical. See the information flow. See how the information flows up, how the data is being moved up and down. So how the IP diagram, what happens with the IP frame, this everything, and the bits when the data actually passes on the physical layer. This is the way it passes in the physical layer. Extremely important, this graphical representation. See also on the right side, application layer, presentation layer, session layer, what the session does, session relay, session flex, session. I'll not go in granular details, but this is something we will train you on as you go to the next stage. Now, the very important stage is this one, what happens, how the hacking happens. Now, each of the layer that can be hacked, now this is just an example, guys, much more than this thing happen. So you can exploit types of the attack. You can actually exploit the application layer. You can do the phishing attack here, hijack the whole session, entire thing, what you see on the screen, you can hijack and they can do whatever you want. Reconnaissance, basically try to get DOS attacks, man in the middle attacks, then shoot spoofing and sniffing. Okay. Now, all this is at the different layers. This is very important from the knowledge perspective that you understand this kind of this one. Now, uh, I'm trying to be brief here so that we can cover and don't rush, give chance to ask questions. One example of distributed denial of service attack, you can see this, how this information is going to flow here, what happens with the criminal DNS flood attack and this one. And I'm going to keep it on the screen for a few seconds so you can grab your attention here. Then top 8 types of the cyber attacks: phishing attack, ransomware, denial of service, man in the middle, SQL injection, cross-site scripting, zero-day exploit, DNS spoofing. Uh, they're all self-explanatory. Okay, so if you look at whatever is written here, or whatever you're seeing on the screen, it's very important that you get a good understanding of each of these areas: denial of service, man in the middle, SQL injection, cross-site scripting, zero-day exploit, DNS spoofing. These are like major ones. And then inside this, all these names you see of the different type of ransomware, malware, all these things keeps on happening. Uh, this is just an example, okay? Just to show you how the things can happen. Now, distribution denial of service, the word by denial of service, you do not have any service. You're not going to get a service. What they're doing is they're literally spamming by sending so many things to your computer using bots, basically. Though this is called botnets. The bots are nothing but they play like a relay of the information. A number of bots can send so many messages to your computer at the same time that your computer stops working. It cannot handle that much of traffic. That's what distributed denial of service attack means. Just one example there. And then DNS spoofing you can study. Now, those people with network security, it may sound difficult, but I would say, guys, if you spend good amount of time on this one, studying this one, you should be okay with that. Next, look at the IP addresses. Just an example: static, dynamic, IPv4, IPv6, which is the most current. Uh, Whenever we speak about security compliance, you should understand everything of what's happens at the IP level, why those IP level, what is DNS servers, what is DNS resolution, and those kind of things. So now, even if you're a cybersecurity engineer or compliance or computer science, you probably may not go granularly at this level of network. This is security studies, so I would say those people who are here in the room with from commerce and those people who are here in the room from the other engineering division, it is equally new for them what you're seeing on the screen, just like I'm explaining. Now, to build a strong network and defend it, you need to understand the devices which goes inside the network. So what are the hubs? What are the switches? What are the routers? What are the bridges and gateways? See, anything I'm going to do damage to your network, I have to use some kind of entry point. Then hubs connect multiple local area network. That's what the hub is, connected multiple. I'm not going to bore you guys with a granular definition, just a high level idea from the perspective of getting you interested in this area. Hubs, and this is very easy, guys. Even those hubs, switches, router, bridges, gateways, now the units sometimes are so nicely done. They do all this work also. One unit can do, one machine can do all this kind of things here. I will take caution while saying something, but then most of these areas can be done by the one particular. When you go to you see this on the screen, those blades, we call it blade or machine blades. They are where the cables are connected on the back. Those are the switches, routers, basically. And switches generally have more intelligent role than hubs. They are a little bit smart communicators. Then routers help transmit the packets to their destination. Routers is where the actual movement of the package happens. Bridges are used to connect two or more host or network segment together. So networks are on the segments. You should understand the principle of segmentation of network, but we'll get to that one. And gateways normally work at transport and session layers. Now, these all hub switches, router, bridges, gateways, they also work at the OSI layer. So when it comes to network security, understand most important thing is approach of the layers and how the layers play. Another aspect of the most important aspect of this security is that use of proper devices. You use many technical tools in front of your connection called firewall, intrusion detection, intrusion prevention, network access control. All this is being used in the beginning. And I would say that you should be ready with that knowledge about what firewall does. And I think firewall is nothing but checks every message and looks at it, and is it good for your computer to work on it or is bad. That's what firewall. So it's one of the first line of defense in the network is firewall. It isolates one network from another. You can do isolation by using different tools also, but firewalls also can separate it. um, it can be one device. Firewalls are used internally also and externally also. There is externally is for incoming traffic. Internally, you can use certain firewalls to block people from getting into multiple areas. So for example, there is a privacy data located one place. You don't want most of the people to go there, then they will put a firewall there and block all the communication, all those IP addresses originating with so and so number. They will never pass the firewall to that area. That means you're blocked indirectly. You have nowadays both type of the tool. Firewalls can be today it can be software based firewalls, it can be hardware based firewalls, and firewalls are maintained with many types of signatures and the filtering which happens to detect that this is the right message to get inside the system or not. Very important thing is firewall. People can just do the entire career in the firewall itself. So that you can study the firewall, study the technical aspect of the firewall, learn how to implement the firewall, and then you can have an entire career working firewall or this IDS, IPS, network access control devices. I will not go much details, not to bore you guys. Once again, intrusion detection to detect somebody has intruded inside your system. Prevent is basically obstructed. Somebody do not need to go to the system. So what they do, they define some kind of signatures or some kind of information. If they find that that package or something has something like that, which they doubt, they will drop that package and prevent it getting into the system. So some of them are very fast systems. Some of them are very slow, depends upon which generation. We have generation 4 firewalls now. So many companies may be on generation 3, but this is something you should be aware of it, that there are software firewall, actual mechanical firewalls tools. So you have a lot of opportunities in that area too. Of course, NAC and everything also has good opportunity. IDS, IPS design tools. There are tools manufacturing companies which program them. Okay. So let's go quickly to the next one. What else happens in the web filters and everything? So uh, this is for your defense structure. What are you trying to, how you're going to defend your network? You defend your network by web filters, a solution that prevent users browsers from loading certain pages. So filters are basically filtering what you can see. Proxy servers, they are basically another way of securing. You connect to the proxy server, request some service, and proxy server evaluates the request. That means you have one layer in between before you touch the actual packages and all that, and that was here. Then anti-DDoS devices. DDoS is distributed denial of service. I showed you that example. Those are pretty bad attacks. That's very commonly